time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
He knows the game, he cares about the game, he's passionate about the game, and that's why I couldn't be more excited about the future of this franchise.
So while I officially wear the title of owner of Ottawa Senators, I understand that this city and the fans, you're the true owners. And I promise to take care of your team with the utmost respect, integrity, and care, both on and off the ice.
Good way to start the morning, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York. Yorkie, we have the big boss man today.
Every time you say that, I think of the old WWF character, the big boss man. You're not a wrestling guy, so you probably have no idea.
He's the blonde guy.
No, the big boss man is the guy that dressed up in the... You're thinking of Big John Studd. That's the big
No, you know what?
Big boss man's the guy with the crew cut. He wore the police outfit. He had the billy stick, and he used to come in there. He had no wrestling skills. All he would go in is brawl. But that's the big boss man. He had the police outfit on.
I was thinking of who's the manager that used to be the blonde.
The Brain Bobby Heenan?
That's the guy.
Yeah. I know my wrestling, Wally. Not that that's something to be proud of, but
I'm not sure it is.
I was a big WWF fan back when it was the WWF.
Yeah,
actually,
I couldn't get into it.
I know.
Anyway,
it's not. You don't like that kind of stuff.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Michael Andlauer is about to join us. He's just getting. He was flying into his office today, but no, he's flying into the city into his office, so he should be momentarily. I did speak with him, so lots of questions for him.
What are you talking? Is there like a new helipad up there or something over at the CTC?
They got plenty of land. He can land that anywhere over there.
There you go.
I drove by there yesterday. You know what, Yorkie? It's still a great building.
Here's the thing with the building. I'll just say from my own experiences, when I played here from 96 to 2001, that building was sold out almost every single night.
Yeah.
I live in Westboro right now, and I know I don't speak for people that live in Orleans. It is a little bit of a trek.
Absolutely.
But from where I live, it's a 15-minute drive. I would say the drive is a little tougher for people, not a little, but it's the Queensway, it's the congestion. But compared to other cities, like Boston, when I was living in Boston and I lived a 20-minute drive to the rink, if I tried making that drive for the game at, like, let's say I wasn't playing for some reason, it was an hour and a half drive, because that's how bad traffic are in such big cities. But we're so lucky in Ottawa, Wally. We have traffic, but it's not big city traffic. It really isn't.
Hold on. All those cities have first grade public transportation.
Yeah, we don't have it. We don't. I get it. Don't
get me worked up this morning. I haven't even.
Yeah, but the rink is still a pretty nice rink. The one thing I'll say about this, because I've sat everywhere in there. I've sat in the press box. I've sat in the 300s, the 200s, the 100s, ice level. I've sat on the bench there. There's not
such a big play. I just dropped it. Yeah, I chilled on the bench.
Everywhere.
400 games.
There's not a bad seat in there. Whoever designed that building, man, got it right as far as the sight lines go. You could be top of the 300 level. That's still a pretty good seat. Like, you can see everything. There's no restricted seats. Whoever designed that place, A+ for sight lines, because there are very good sight lines in that building.
So Yorkie is willing to trade for the entire year his alumni seats for anybody at the top of the 300. Just send them an email.
I tell you, if you want to get, for those that haven't sat up top, you know what they see. You see the player, you see the play develop, you see the players that are smart. It looks a lot slower. My favorite spot. Yeah, my favorite spot's 200 level, though.
It is great. Well, Speaking of the guy that can change all those seats if he wants to, or he can sit in any one he wants to. Welcome to the show, the owner of the Ottawa Senators, Michael Andlauer. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Brent. Can you guys hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You look great.
All right.
So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Hey, Michael, I was just saying before we get in there, Wally's got a long list of questions for you. So I apologize. I apologize in advance.
Okay.
Do you know who designed the sight lines in the CTC? Because I was just saying, I've sat everywhere in that building, and I don't think there's a bad sight line. Like you from up top where you sit to 100, to, like it's got great viewing sight lines in the building.
No, I actually, what was it, 1992? I think it looks familiar, like the Tampa Lightning bowl too. But you're right, there's not a bad seat in the house, and the higher up, the easier it is to watch the game, I find.
Yeah.
I think they were built around the same time, so I have no idea who did it, but definitely good. Not a bad seat in that house.
So you know what, Michael, let's just get right into it then, because the September, I think 22nd, 24th deadline with the NCC's looming. Can you just share with us right now and tell us all what's happening?
Yeah, not everything, but certainly. So September. I think end of September is the last is the deadline. I'm optimistic. I met with the NCC as late as last week, and that's the first step. I mean, obviously that getting the land. I guess to be perfectly transparent, the original deal was really, it wasn't really. It was more window dressing to making sure that this team got sold at the highest price. A lot of things happened. So the deal is really not, just to put things in perspective, to get 6 acres at Le Breton when a building takes up 5 acres of land itself, and what it looks like if you've been to Edmonton or you've been to some of these facilities, the fan fest, going outside, access. So for me, the most important thing is what's in the best interest of our fans. And, and I think, the NCC's, they're well-intentioned. Some people are probably rolling their eyes right now because of the experience they've had with the NCC. But you got to go in there with good intentions, and I think I think they understand what our fans need. I had to try to express that to myself. Access. To not have parking availability is not something that's good for the fans, for example.
Agreed.
So for me, everything I do is about the fan experience, and the fans are the ones that are paying the big bucks to watch the concerts and the hockey games and the likes. They're the taxpayers. They're everything. So for me, I'm going to look to making sure we have our fans' best interest at stake. It's an opportunity to do something special. So there's no sense skimping right at the beginning. So that's we'll get there. I mean, the NCC is it's not the city. It's not there. But it's a great location, certainly with the LRT right there. For Gatineau, it's literally in the summer day would be walking distance. And I'm excited. I'm excited about moving forward.
So I don't know if I can ask you this, but I will. If the deal falls apart, which it's possible it does, whatever, does that make the extension to put a rink somewhere any longer? Or like, my guess is, and it's just, I'm throwing out a number, it's probably 7 or 8 years before we see a downtown arena if we get to that point. If the negotiations fall apart, whatever, is it easier or does it slow things down to put a rink somewhere else?
I think it's a good question. I think there may be options not nearby. At least that's what I'm led to believe. Downtown would make it very difficult. I think everybody would love to have it right downtown. But then you got expropriation that you got to deal with. Like you said, you need a big enough site. But I think there's so much. Everybody I speak to, every stakeholder in the city wants it to work. So let's sit down and we'll between the city and the NCC and what the fans need, and we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. So I'm optimistic. I think the Breton lands are great, and heck, they've been vacant for over 60 years. It's about time that we put a shovel in the ground.
I live in Stittsville, so if you could just maybe leave the rink in Stittsville, I'm okay with that.
No. I'm in Westboro, Mike, and I moved for Westboro for a reason. I know sooner or later, and hopefully you and your group are the guys to finally break that 60-year streak. But I'm talking to some people. You got a lot of stuff going on at the new rink now, right? Like you're doing some, because you're going to be there for the time being. So there's some stuff going on with the dressing rooms. There's some stuff going on with the fan experience. Because you talk about the fans, but you've done some nice little rentals to the rink to make it a better viewing experience.
Well, that's it's a work in process. It's I think I know right now we're doing a bunch of changes in the off season with the Brook Street Lounge, giving that a nice facelift for those fans. I know there's trying to make it easier for the fans. Certainly, a self-serve drink market is being uprooted in the 100 level. I know there's something else going on in the 200 level. One of the things we've been working diligently with, the Cyril's been working hard with the province, is to try to get that ramp off the highway for access after games. They let the buses out, but not commuters, and the ability to have that happen. So I know there's a lot of work being done there. The club bell seats are being changed over to loges because that's in high demand. Just listening, trying to find, in the meantime, make the fan experience a little bit better. It's the off season. Obviously it hasn't been a year yet, but we'll get there.
I heard you took apart the coach's room and redone the gym part, and I heard that was you. It sounds like your decision to revamp that whole area. Why was that important to you?
Yeah, for me, you've got to give the best. If I give I always say to whether it be Steve or anybody works for me, I said, if I give you the tools to be successful, then I can hold you accountable. And you tell me what tools you need. With my experience with the American Hockey League team and then the OHL team, and seeing other areas, and one of the areas that really concerned me, and I think you talked about it on the podcast with Steve about Matt Nickel and sports science, the ability to take care of these athletes to me is paramount. And if you see the amount of injuries that we had last year, some of our superstars, getting paid millions of dollars on sitting up in the press box, and you wonder, are they injuries that are preventative or non-preventative? And to me, a soft tissue injury, a groin pull, and those things are things that could be preventable with the right care or preventative care. So my first visit was I wanted to see the facility. My old equipment manager is Ottawa's equipment manager today, so there's a familiarity. It was the day I went to see Alfie, first order of the day to see Alfie at his place for lunch and meet him for the very first time. And I went through a visit of the dressing room, and the doctors' offices are literally in a cubby hole, like under the grandstands, and there's about 4 beds in the medical area and treatment. The gym was nice enough, but it wasn't from a treatment standpoint. I felt it needed to get improved ASAP. And Johnny suggested I don't do it now and disrupt everybody during the season and wait till the off season. So that was the first order of the day, and Matt Nickel is championing that side with the medical team, and I'm excited for the players. That way they'll get the proper care and the proper space to be best in class.
Yeah, I always found it crazy, Michael, back when I played. It's like you got these athletes. It's like you don't take a Ferrari and bring it to a regular body shop. Like it just doesn't. It never made any sense to me. So that's awesome to hear. But it's got to be nice for you now though to. It's got to be nice now to actually have some time because you guys came in so late last year because of the process, because of the holdup. But now to actually get a full summer, Steve's been able to make some moves. So, and you're sitting in your seat right now. It's got to feel good to come into this season actually feeling a little bit prepared compared to last year.
No doubt, last year was crazy. It was. Yeah, I say I go 100 miles an hour in a 50, but I was going well over that last year, and it was with the windows open. I didn't feel like and I had the same experience when I bought a junior team, when I bought Belleville. I was told that, players didn't want to play there. So you spend a year learning. You just observe because there's some really good pieces here in Ottawa, both on and off the ice. And you got people that really care. So it's important not to be hasty and just observe. And I bought this team for long term, the long term, not overnight. And I know how our fans can be impatient and the likes, and right from listening to the Fire DJ chants to and I get it, and I'm as big a fan, and I hate, as I told the players at the end of the year, I said one of the things I learned is I really hate to lose, but we've been able to focus on the hockey ops. That was the first order of the day because I think that's what the fans look for in the fan experience, is to have a winning product on the ice and to have confidence in our team and pride in our team. So really focusing on that side of the business, and Steve's done an incredible job. People don't know how hard he worked through this whole process, and not to delve into his personal life, but his wife had medical issues with going through chemo and through this whole period, and the guy's a hero in my eyes. What he was able to accomplish in less than a year, but a lot has been done, and a lot of work still needs to be done. We're not done, but we have a nice foundation here, and we have some really great young, talented, well-intentioned superstars on our team that need to be molded the right way. When you look at their team, the finalists this year, with their average age is 29, and we're hanging around 25 and change, and we've got these guys. The future's bright as long as it's molded the right way. So I think we've set that foundation. We're going to continue to work hard. We won't take anything for granted, and I think we've got a much stronger foundation and a much stronger team moving forward.
Do you need to still add to your hockey ops department? Is that something you're looking to do, or are you satisfied with where it's at?
That's up to Steve to decide, really. But certainly, I think there's some fine tuning that needs to be done. I won't get into detail. I'll let Steve mention that. Speak to that. But there's fine tuning. I think there's, let's just say that in every aspect we want to have the best possible. We don't want mediocrity. We don't want to settle for mediocrity. And you have to understand what it is to be an Ottawa Senator moving forward. And I think that's doesn't mean that people don't care. It's just, so there might be some other fine tuning along the way.
Fair enough. And that was going to lead me to my question of, I guess, how much say do you own the team? So how much say do you have with Steve over all those decisions? Is it tough to back off sometimes and go, I need to know that that's not my area and I need to be quiet? Like, you're such a passionate fan. How involved do you get?
Yeah. I know we're breaking up here. Maybe it's my connection, but I think the question was, how involved am I?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't. I got to hold people accountable. So if I start making decisions, that's then it defeats that. I'll say what are the tools you need to succeed. They identify the tools. If I give you those tools, then I can hold you accountable. But ultimately, player decisions are in Steve's department, and now he has a strong team to support him. I do speak to Steve every day, pretty much, but it's more on the basis of being a conscience for him. I've been at this for 20 years now, plus, so I have a bit of experience under my belt. I like to play devil's advocate with him, but I'm really there to support him in his decision-making process and be there as a conscience for him. But ultimately, he has to make that decision. If he asks my opinion, I'll give it to him. Other than that, it's on him and his team to make those decisions.
I got a couple of questions. I know you got to go. I have a couple of questions left. One is,
okay.
Well, I'll ask about the first round pick. Do you expect perhaps if you buy Gary dinner a couple of times, maybe you can get that lowered a little?
Interestingly enough, I did ask Gary because when we bought the team, we had 2 first round picks. We had Boston's first round and our own, kind of hoping that we could, it's not as if we went and got a first round pick so I kind of said, because the wording was such that it said Ottawa's first round pick. I said, well, we have 2 first round picks. We also have Boston's that we had. But they suggested it was Ottawa's. Obviously, the goal is not to be in the lottery, so that way the first round pick is not quite as impactful. I guess I'm of the view that maybe I'll ask for another 3-year extension. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? I'm not holding my breath on this one, unfortunately. I guess something I've inherited, and let's focus on try to create a winning environment before the 3rd year is over, and so that way we have the 32nd pick, and that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be great.
That'd be great.
We're all behind you if that happens.
Michael, one last one for me. I know you're a golfer. Have you got a chance to go out and relax and play a little golf this summer?
Have I a chance to relax? Yeah, I do. I have after the draft, about a week after, I finally started going to the cottage, and I take Fridays off from work and try to play that men's day on Fridays at Port Carlin Golf Club and just start to unwind and enjoy the things that cottagers do and on the water and friends and the like. So for the month of July, despite all the floods we seem to be having across this country, Ontario, Quebec, we have had some nice weekends and have enjoyed that. But I haven't played Royal Ottawa yet. I keep on getting invited to that, which is in beautiful Gatineau, and I want to be able to. I know people at the Hunt Club want me to join there or Royal, but I'll get spoiled in the meantime. So I think I'm playing there on the 3rd week of the month in August. So I'm looking forward to.
I played
playing golf in the Ottawa region.
I played with Neil yesterday, who you know, and he was saying that he's been trying to get you out forever, but you're dodging him.
Yeah, no, it's Sean that I'm dodging, and he's the one that lives there, right? But I look forward to enjoying it, and I know we have our foundation golf tournament is on the 9th of September, which was my first a non-official team event. So I look forward to celebrate my first anniversary at the Senators Foundation, and which is obviously we've done some great things in it for my first year there, and such a big part, including the alumni I did play in the alumni golf tournament. That was fun as well. Did some good things for that.
That was a great day. That was a great day. A lot. And I can't believe Larry Robinson came out as well, Michael. So good to see Larry. What a great guy. And you got to play with him too, right?
I did. Yeah. He's another Hall of Famer. It's a great pride to have him as part of the Ottawa Senators. I guess he couldn't have been an alumni for the Senators. I don't think he was playing in those days when the Ottawa came back.
No,
so
we just
what a class act.
Yeah, if you live within like 200 kilometers, we kind of claim you as an
Yeah,
Ottawa guy.
we stole Larry.
All right, I'll make this quick.
I love it.
You guys have made it very clear the Gatineau region is very important to this team, which we have not heard for, well, I'm going to feel like forever. Why is it important for you, or why is it that you make it so public so that they all understand, or everybody understands how important the area is?
I mean, you got to. Maybe I'm ignorant, or I guess maybe innocence is okay in this case, because I'm a newbie here in Ottawa, and I go to the restaurant in Ottawa, and I talk to the wait staff, and you get in a conversation asking where they're from. A lot of times they actually live in Gatineau and they work in the Ottawa restaurant downtown, or obviously we talked about Royal Ottawa with golf club, which is a lot of people in Ottawa go and play, which is in Gatineau. There's all kinds of examples. I can walk from my place in Dow's Lake to Gatineau faster than anybody could drive to Montreal. Like, Gatineau residents have more to relate to Ottawa than they do Montreal. So there's no reason. But when I look at it from the outside, I also know that we really haven't paid attention, to the francophones in Gatineau, and case in point, our comms folks, we didn't have any francophones. Our digital team, and it's not because we didn't care. We just didn't pay any attention. I think it's time that this community, that I know that Cyril's working with the mayor and putting up a Sensplex facility in Gatineau, or the opportunity for that. We did from the foundation standpoint, we looked at Roger Nielsen House equivalent to in Gatineau with Maison Papillon to start that up. So you'll see more player involvement. I think we're having a black and gold game there before the season starts. So they're definitely part of our community, and I'm looking forward to earning that their fan support.
Okay, quickly, two last things. One, you made me nervous when you said you watched the show.
I lost you guys.
Oh, do you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, sorry. Okay. Keep on freezing.
Nope, it'll be quick. I was nervous when you said you watched the show because occasionally I may have said that Jason York was the owner of the Ottawa Senators. I would just like to take this opportunity to say I apologize. I know that's not true.
See? You never know who's listening, Wally. You never know.
You know what? You know what? I said it at the outset. We are all owners of it. I'm just holding the torch for everybody, and I'm the biggest fan. I love this city. I love the fans. Our fans are so passionate, true fans, and so as far as I'm concerned, everything we do is for our fans. So if you're a fan, you're an owner, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, fair enough. Finally,
yeah, for sure.
There's a question that's taking over the internet. Are you a bird feeder guy, or are you just normal like me and not a bird feeder guy?
Bird feeder guy. Let's put it this way. I've got enough goose shit on my lawn. I don't need to be a bird feeder guy. Sorry.
I appreciate it. Michael Andlauer, thank you for stopping by. We really, I know you're a busy man, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me, guys. See you soon.
Have a great season.
Take care.
There goes Michael Andlauer, the owner, the real owner of the Ottawa Senators.
How smooth was that? Everybody's. I love it. That was good. That was good. And I'm glad you asked the Ottawa Gatineau question. It brings me back, Wally, to when I'll tell you why they're making a concentrated effort to make a difference. I saw something that I don't think I ever would think. Jacques Martin, I told you this story. I went over. They did a presentation over in Gatineau. It was at the casino. Jacques Martin was awarded the Personality of the Year. Something I never thought I would see in my lifetime. But nothing against Jacques was a very quiet guy when I had him as my coach. And now to see how he's come full circle, where he's endearing and funny, and he's got a personality now. It's unbelievable. But at that, the point I'm trying to make here is at that function, Steve Staios was there, Dave Poulin was there, Sarah Leader was there, Jacques was there, Alfie was there, and they had some of the alumni. That's why I was there, to just be on hand to kind of make an effort to show that area, to show just across the bridge. It's true. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. That fan base was really ignored for a long time. So it's just smart business, Wally. It's smart business.
And you know what also is ignored?
Let people feel that they're included, and they'll come support you. I talked to people after that event, and they were coming up to me, and they were pretty prominent people in the Gatineau business area, and they were like, "This is great. We feel like we're now part of it." So I think that's awesome messaging.
Well, and the other part is too, Yorkie, long forgotten and ignored was the alumni. You would never see them.
Well,
and so I
wouldn't say forgotten. I would say deemed,
Yorkie.
I would say, listen, I would say this: deemed not important. That's
so they had to buy their own
Yeah.
They used to have to buy their own suit jacket or whatever. They used to have to buy all the gear.
I was in the alumni. I know all this stuff.
I know, but you're trying to sugarcoat it, and I'm like, was ignored.
I'm of the opinion too. You can only shit on the old guys for so long. It is what it is. It was not good. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yes, I agree. But I'm of the opinion it's time to move forward. But
I'm with you 100%.
But it was, what are you going to do? It was run horribly before. It was, and you can't sugarcoat it. It was. But now things are changing for the better for all parties included, and that's what happens. Everybody knows this. It always starts at the top. It starts at the top. Yeah. Things were good in Ottawa at the beginning. I'll say that when a long time ago things were very good, and then it just went sour, and we all know the story. But onward, positive, move forward. Alumni's treated fantastically now, and it's night and day. I will agree, Wally. It is night and day. But
even during bankruptcy, Yorkie, I can remember people always having the utmost respect for the Ottawa Senators organization as a group. It was so well run, right? It had the best minor league system. It was an extremely well run organization, despite the fact that they couldn't stay in certain hotels.
This was just remember, this was run. Like the old joke, it was the smallest staff, and not just hockey, pro sports. They were running with a skeletal staff, so people weren't put into a situation to have success.
Correct.
And it's pretty, and that happens at the top, and then you're set up for failure. So it's surprising just how well they used to draft back in the day with such little resources. So. But
what they were able to do, I don't think people appreciate how good that scouting staff was.
Yeah, some great picks come out of there. So
Frank J, Marshall Johnston, those guys were phenomenal what they did.
But anyway. We got to the meat of everything. Michael Andlauer is not a bird feeder guy.
You know what? He may now be my favorite person on earth. He's on Team Wally.
Wow, come on now. I don't get ahead of yourself now. He's on the podcast because he knows there's a reason for it. I don't know if it's because of you, but I would say Team Wally. You're pretty good. He did a good job. Wally, you're making progress. You don't spoil things. You've had a really good run here the last couple of weeks. You got on the pickleball. Yeah, you got to joke around a little bit with the owner of the Sens, so you're on a run here.
You and I hung out Saturday.
We hung out. We bonded. We bonded.
Yeah. So it's been a great summer.
Do I dare say this has been the summer of Wally?
No, it's just a summer, but it's been good for me.
It's been good. Yeah,
although I will say though, Yorkie, we've been very fortunate because I meant to bring this up earlier. Is that it started with one interview basically with Linus, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Jensen or Linus was first. I can't remember. And then
Linus was first. Allmark
he was first, right? Yeah,
he was
he was
incredible.
before.
He was great.
And then everybody just started to come on. We got every new senator on. We got Brady and we had Claude, and then we did the coaching. We did the coach to the GM to the owner. Like, very fortunate. We were very, very lucky this summer. I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, it's been great. And usually this summer sucks. Like, content's down. People in Ottawa are Sens fans. They're at their cottages, and people you kind of tune it off for a while. But it's been a pretty well. You got to think too. It's part of this is because Ottawa's been so active this offseason too. Like, there's been so much change. There's been so much going on. So there's been lots to talk about. There's been a ton to talk about, and it's to me that this has been an excellent off season for everything involved with the Senators. Like, it just, to me, there's a plan in place, and it's people that are fans of the team are just watching how it's being unveiled, and there's a genuine excitement for the start of training camp with everything that's happened.
Well, you know what's funny? Like, I'm not an apologist for the Ottawa Senators by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know how to do that, but people were like, "Well, you better grill them when you have them on." I'm like, but I don't know what I'm supposed to grill them over. Like, I don't know what's gone wrong.
It was good. I think he asked like the good questions there. Like, about the biggest thing is people want to know about the rink. People want to know about the rink because everybody was so excited back when they talked about the plans and about if it's going to be at Le Breton and being more central. Yeah, as much as I like the sight lines and everything in the rink there in Canada, for sure it'd be 100% better if it was in a more central location. Yeah. But there is what Michael was saying. Like, they gotta figure out a way how to get parking down there, because this is still a car driving city. I don't care what he says. People like their cars as much as they try and force you to ride a bike. People, as much as they close down major arteries to have biking on the way, people still like their cars. So that has to be figured out.
And they make, like, you can't trust public transit. Like, if you go
not right now,
if you go to Toronto, like I was in London, we did it. Everything was by transit. Like, it's so well done.
Hey.
Ottawa, you're not sure if it's even going to run.
Especially in the winter.
Like, well, even if it's too hot in the summer, it's anyway.
When you design something that doesn't really work in frigid temperatures in Ottawa, it usually go well.
No, not exactly.
Anyway, we're not a political show. Let's move on.
I will, if we get Cyril Leader on the show, I will ask about the hot water. I know there was lots of comments about hot water in the sinks. If you're a member of Bell Club, there is hot water in that sink. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So, before we move any further, let's just take care of some business, shall we?
Okay.
This show, proudly presented by Bet365. Bet365. They're the proud sponsor of Coming In Hot. Open an account, Bet365 today, and bet on a huge range of markets. Even now, all the picks for the Stanley Cup are out. You can make your bet on that. Bet on a huge range of markets, whatever sport, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Use code DAILY365. Must be 19 years of age or older. Please play responsibly. Wow.
Whoa.
TJ's not awake today. He's not focused.
Well, do you know who is focused, so Wally? Is BEI, Monisher Excavating Incorporated. They are awesome for all your driveway needs, especially paving. They can do that for you. Aggregate and topsoil sales as well. They can take care of that. Plus, BEI also does equipment rentals. You can call them for all your landscape needs at 613-432-1120 or on the web at monishirexcavating.com. BEI is helping to shape the Ottawa Valley, and always remember to slow down in construction zones this summer because it's very busy, Wally.
I might get them to pave over TJ right now. What? I don't know what TJ's doing.
I don't know either. I actually can't believe a road got paved in my neighborhood in Westboro. It was unbelievable. It was like never happens. They usually just fill the potholes in around here.
Oh, please. You've got the posh area. I'm shocked it's not a gated community by now.
Listen, we've got third world streets around here. Come on. Never been paved in 50 years.
Lastly, our golf on Thursday, we are going to announce the winner who's going to come play with us at Rideau View. That course is in fantastic shape, and by like a month from now or 3 weeks from now, the leaves will start to change. It's going to be beautiful. So come join us, win some prizes, have a great afternoon of golfing. You and a buddy, you can bring a +1, and we will get the sticks out. Yorkie, I'm trying to find someone that will replace me so that you won't be so cranky.
You don't want to play? You're out. He's going to.
I will. No. I will play. I just figure you don't want me to play.
Well, you can work. You can work the. No, I don't know. I wouldn't trust you for the tunes. So we're gonna have tunes with. I'm gonna bring my Sonos speakers so we can have a little music on the course. Wow. Well, maybe. Yeah, we can play we can have fun. You can play.
I'll be fine.
Can't be.
I'm just there for comic relief.
Yeah, are you gonna? Well, you can have your little stick there with your camera on it. So
my selfie stick.
Film some of this for some content for the show.
We'll do that. So I do have another entry. There have been plenty. Just because we read them on the show doesn't mean that none of the other ones are being considered. All of them are going to be considered over the next 3 days before we get to the show. Here's one, and I believe I know this person, although I'm not 100% sure. Yorkie, Sean Rutherford. I think it's the same one we both know. Mm-hmm. Gents, there's no other candidate that you should hang with on the track at Rideau. A longtime friend of Simmer who can share some fun stories away from the rink. All PG, of course. Well, I don't think we want to bring him now then. Yorkie, when you were with the Sens, I let you and your family in ahead of all the lineups at Marshy's, gave you a reserve special section, and never bothered you on the plane during road trips. That's right. He looked after you. Wally, a lot of times back in the day, similar to Jason, great memories at Marshy's. We spent a lot of time at Marshy's.
Great spot. It sounds like
it was so good. It was amazing.
Sean sounds like the guy that could run a solid playlist, put together a solid playlist for the afternoon of golf, because that's important. You need a good playlist.
Yes, I just feel like he'd be the guy that's got everything set up. Like, table's over here, bottle service is ready. Like, I got you looked after. That's the guy. Yeah, so it's something to think about. We've got some choices to make. So Yorkie, you and I are going to have to spend some more time together. Mm-hmm. Also coming up on Thursday, Matt Karkner is going to join us.
Well, that's a nice summer poll right there. Big Winchester's own Matt Karkner.
We have been talking since February about fitting in a time, and then he had playoffs because he's coaching now, and he had playoffs, and he had family, and so we finally have lined it up. He's going to be able to make it, so that's good because that finishes off our summer.
He's one of my favorite Senators of all time. Just love Small. Was only here for a short time, but a very impactful time. Wally, he's such a good story. Like, anytime I hear guys bitching and complaining because they're in the minors for a year or two, I just want to say, it's my friend Matt Karkner. Why don't you talk to Matt about perseverance and being in the minors for, I think he's there 8 or 9 years, and then finally make it. He's a great story. Really good story.
It's a phenomenal story. And he was never bitter, right? He was never upset about how stuff played out. It was just, this is the way it is. He was very grateful.
It's just to make it to the American Hockey League is such an accomplishment, and then to grind there for so long. You got to really love the game, but it's still a great gig. I'll tell you, some of the most fun I've had as a pro hockey player was my years in the minors, Wally. Like, it's just, if you really love the game and you love being around the guys and you love hockey, it's a lot of fun. It's a different kind of pressure. Like, you have the pressure of trying to get to the next level, but it's a little bit more of a camaraderie when you're down, and it's still business and it's still obviously work, but it's not the same kind of pressure as the NHL. Still a lot of pressure, but you just feel, if you've got the right group. And I was lucky when I was in the American League, we won a championship, and I still got my Calder Cup ring. It's a very cool experience.
And we'll ask him about one of the biggest goals ever scored, the triple overtime game in Pittsburgh. So we'll get to all that on Thursday. But for now, it's off to the golf course for you, I'm sure.
Got a big match. Got a big match today.
Oh, who are you playing?
I am
playing. To tell us?
No, older gentleman at the Royal Auto. My golf game's okay, Wally, but I'm very erratic. Sometimes. Like, driver is usually pretty good. putter's not bad, but I can hook a short iron like the best of them. Like I get from hockey, I'm very right-handed, so the right hand takes over. So I got to go spend a little time at the range and quiet that right hand down before I play today. Otherwise, it could spell big trouble.
Have you seen Alfie recently? Is he still in Sweden?
I think he's still in Sweden. I haven't seen him around. So I think he's been home for quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you?
Because he's got to be on the show when we come back. He should be our first guest.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Hopefully.
Yeah.
The assistant coaches generally like to stay under the radar during the season and to stay in the background. Even though it's Alfie, it's kind of the way we all know that's how it works.
That's fair. That's completely fair. However, Yorkie, he has been on the show twice. Also, he's gone from he's still the hero for playing now to being involved on the bench. Fans want to know what it's like for Alfie being the coach. So
I'll tell you, he's going to say it's lots of fun. I really enjoy it. It's great. It's bringing back the competitive juice. It's not like playing, but it's the closest thing to playing, and I really enjoyed it. So there you go.
Stop ruining for me and get Alfie on the show.
It's not that exciting.
It is exciting.
It's coach. Listen, you've interviewed coaches. The problem is once you start coaching, you have to inherit coach speak, and when you have coach speak, it's not that exciting.
He's fine. Listen.
No, he's great. It's just you can't. Everyone's waiting for the gotcha moment, so that's why.
Fair. Yeah.
Everyone's waiting for the gotcha, so everybody has to speak so guarded, and that's why it's so refreshing when you get people on the show, and that's why the off season is so good because guys have not their guards down, but guys speak a little more candidly because you're not in the meat grinder, you're not in it, it's not like you're not getting peppered every day, and that's why the summer is actually a great time for what we've done to get guys in and talk.
Yorkie, I've always told any guest I've lined up, and I've made it very clear, and I did the same when I was a reporter at TSN, never here to get a viral clip that's going to expose you or make you feel uncomfortable. That's not what we do. That's not what we're trying to do. And so when you get them to relax and know that you're not out to try and get them, it just become a little easier to talk. Yeah. And so that's why.
That's my job. It's my job because you're so serious there. They're like, okay, what's this guy going to ask me? I got to come in with a little massage there.
Well, yeah, but that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. Starsky and Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch. Hey, by the way, I didn't want to say this when we had Michael on. Actually, I was going to say I saw the worst movie I think I've ever seen last night. Whatever it is to get in the movie now, $15 I'm never gonna see again. Deadpool and Wolverine. Oh my god, Jesus, that's so bad.
I heard it's fantastic.
You from who?
Well, A, the money it's raking in, and B,
well, yeah,
people have, like I don't have a list of names, but people
have you ever went online now and saw, like, you go scroll through the movies of finding actually something that's good to go see?
There's no good movies.
It's terrible. Well, that's
and by the way, I watched Kevin Hart the other night, Die Hard 2 at home.
Yeah.
That might be one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah.
So
no, best superhero movie ever made of this whole new era. The first Captain America was really good. That was really because there's actually a story behind it. And the acting was actually half decent, but now they're just, oh my god, they're so bad.
Well, you're just a ball of fun on a Monday morning.
I tell it as it is.
Okay. We will see you on Thursday, everybody. Oh, by the way, Yorkie, you know what I just got in my collection?
What's that?
A signed original game used Daniel Alfredson Easton Synergy.
Oh, the silver one.
Yeah.
That's the. It's funny you say that. I was just at my friend's cottage, Joe, up on the Upper Rideau, and behind the guest bedroom door was a silver Synergy Alfie stick, and I'm like, "Where'd you get this?" He's like, "I got it. I don't know, 20 years ago." Those are really cool sticks, by the way. That's when the sticks actually started to get good.
Yes. So I'm thinking of running some kind of contest to give it away.
Nice.
It's gotta be worth something. So we'll get to that later. Stay tuned.
Okay. All right.
Everybody enjoy your week, and we will reconvene Thursday morning, 9 a.m.
Yeah. See you, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.